Hey up, how are we? Hope you're having a great day. Just arrived in Manchester, so we start fit up at 2. It is now 1, so I'm staying in a hotel this week just for the first few days because I do not get touring allowance because I am under 25 miles away from the theatre. So just to get me through fit up and tech week, I've booked myself a hotel for the first few nights, and we'll see how it goes. So I'll try and take you and show you as much as I possibly can. This one could be quite difficult because there's going to be so many people there, and we're all going to be extremely busy. But yeah, so let me see what I can do. Let me see what I can film, and I will take you now into Manchester Palace.
Audio Jungle.
Hello, alright? Been a while, eh? Didn't follow up on any of my promises, which is slightly annoying, don't get me wrong, and I'm slightly annoyed at myself for it. It's been busy. A lot has happened. We're now in London. We're now in the Hammersmith part of the run. And yeah, what happened in Manchester? Well, what didn't happen in Manchester is, I suppose, the thing that we should speak about. It was busy. It was tough. I underestimated what I can and can't film in respects of time. Not even in restrictions, just literally in respects of time. And then I got COVID. It hit me like a brick wall, to be honest. Hit me like a train going at 1,000,000 miles an hour. Yeah, so I was off for a good 6 days, and we were only there for 2 weeks showroom wise anyway. And it was the first time we were putting the show in, so everything was a bit all over the place, as per, you know, it was going to happen. But yeah, I underestimated that. So now we're in London Hammersmith, and I could have filmed in Hammersmith, but again, the out happened in Manchester and it ran on for a very long time, and then we had to drive to London and then start fit up the next day as well. So headspace wise, probably wasn't wise for me to film in Hammersmith. There was a lot going on as well, and it was difficult. However, we're done, and I'm hoping to start bringing back a few of the videos. So after this clip, we're gonna go in and we're gonna switch everything on and do rig check. So to make my life a little bit easier, instead of carrying this Canon camera around on the tripod and whatnot, I've actually bought myself a DJI Action 2, and this is literally the smallest thing in the absolute land with a battery pack on, and it's going to attach to my chest like that, and you're going to see like a first person view of exactly what I do at the desk and rack wise, and switching things on and checking things, rigging lights, hopefully on the trucks and stuff like that, and hopefully that'll be a little bit easier for me to capture that footage on one of them instead of a big DSLR mirrorless whatever camera. So before we get into our day and switching on and rig checks and stuff like that, I'm gonna just say in the next few days we've got a few exciting lighting stuff coming up. I say exciting, it's probably not that exciting. So we've got a good friend of mine, Guy Jones, coming in to do our MLA, and MLA is moving light assistant, and essentially what Guy's going to do is we'll put the presets up for the lights, and he's going to take pictures of the lights, put it on a file called the MLA, and when we go into relight, I can look at pictures and reference what's going on stage and how the show should light. So we've got that coming up in the next few days, and we've also got a very exciting EPK session, and the EPK is basically for the adverts for the tour, when we're on tour. So it's got all the tour company in, all the lighting stage, sound, everything in, and it's basically for trailers and adverts. So this is the kind of like admin stuff you have to do when you're setting up a show. So it's pretty standard. You're in a lot of the time doing fixes and maintenance, and obviously EPKs, MLA sessions, and then I'll also do probably a video on my paperwork as well, stuff that I do, stuff that I like to know about. We call it a show bible, so writing the show bible, what should go in the show bible, not necessarily the nitty gritty stuff because that's what your production electrician should do, or does do. So yeah, essentially we've got some exciting stuff coming up, and I hope to be able to capture it and show you, and again, spread the word. Let me know if you've got any questions, and we'll see what we can do. Okay, so I need to go in now and start switching things on, but let me take it with you, and you can see our rig and how we do rig check. Okay, so I realised that me showing you that rig check first person view and then of the stage is all well and good, but if you don't know what it means or why we do it, then it's quite pointless. So I'm going to do my usual talk over what you can see, so just ignore the washing machine in the background because I am now at home. So the rig check is split up in different queues, and the first queue we have in our rig check is the Mac Encores overheads, and these overheads are for our pipe ends. So as you can see, we flick through absolutely every parameter that the lights have. So this is colour, gobo, shape, rotation, animation, iris, zoom, strobe, and basically everything this light does, not even in the show but as a unit itself, and we just look and make sure everything's happy and everything's doing exactly what it should do. So the next Q stack is also encores, and these are our what we call the backlight encores and our front of house encores. So as you can see in this video, there is one encore which is slightly off to the left and not on the stage. That is because we have two other encores which you can't see in this video, pointing way out in the wings, and these are our what we'd call our circle front encores, our circle front lights. And obviously we need to put them in a position where I can see them or Craig can see them, so I can see the ones out front and Craig can see the ones on the deck. And they run exactly the same as the last encore, so every colour, every go, but absolutely everything to make sure that they're all working. So now we're looking at our super bright Mac Ultras. I've never used Ultras before, but my god, are they punchy. We have a lot of them on Advanced 2 and then 2 on our drop down pros kind of positions. And they do a lot of our front wash for the show. They do our front wash full stop really, and when we go on tour we actually cut these units and we'll go to conventional source 4s for our front wash, and they do a lot of our mirror ball punches as well. So when you can watch the show, if you've seen the show, there's a lot of mirror balls, and they do our light on the mirror balls. Instead of all standard pin spots or stuff like that, we throw these bad boys at them. Cool, so next up is our ZW37s, and these are our main wash units for the show, overheads. We have auras kind of out front as well, which do a lot of the face light stuff, the cross light. However, the ZW's elations are really, really good. They're a very rock and roll fixture, and I've never ever seen one on a theatre gig such as this. However, I would highly recommend them. They zoom out really, really wide, which is exactly what you need for a wash unit, and the way Tim uses them on this show is it just brings you that depth to the stage with the deep blues and the deep purples and stuff like that. And then we move on to the trusty auras. Every single show has auras at the minute. They're just a great fixture. We don't have a lot of them. We have 3 either side of like the pros position, and then we have 1 on the bottom of the pros doing a nice face light, and they do some cool effects in the show as well. I won't ruin it, but yeah, they do a lot of headlight stuff, and yeah, so they're trusty. Everyone loves auras. They're really easy, really light, and really punchy as well. They're really, really bright and really bring out faces once you get the right colour in them and everything like that. They work really well. So now Craig is moving kind of facing stage right or auditorium left, and we are now checking all of our Luster 2s on our booms. So these do all the cross light, and as you can see on the video as well, they do a cool little slash across that flown wall bit of set there. So again, Luster's standard source 4 but LED, so it can change colour. Can strobe really nice, and they have a really nice dimming curve on them as well, so you can do some really cool effects with them, and they're just standard cross light focuses, nothing special, but really work for this job. So what Craig is going to do now, which you can't see, is he's going to check the Colour Force 2s, which is the 72 way battens that we have, which do our cyc wash, standard cyc wash or bounce cloth. We have 1 1 row on the ground and 1 row on LX7. And these for our rig check, they do standard colours, and then to make sure we've got all the colour forces the right way, the end cue in that rig check is a nice little turning off each individual cell in the right way from stage right to stage left. Okay, so now we get into the unique stuff of Sister Act. They're standard fixtures that everyone uses, so we just have to check them. All good. So now we get into the unique stuff, which is our portals, and can I say, everything on this show lights up. Every single bit of portal, every single bit of set. So now we're checking all our portals. They're all pixel mappable, they're all pixel LED tape, and they're run from our desk. And yeah, so we just check colours, and then you'll see a few of them will do like a step out, so they'll take out blocks in each one, and that's kind of the end. It kind of like we were doing on the colour force patterns, that's what it does. So what we're doing here, we're giving you a little sneak preview of our flown wall. This is our little baby. We have 2 sliders that come into it and meet kind of like on the edges, stage right and stage left, so it makes a full wall. However, this flown wall is fully pixel mappable and does some really cool effects on the show. So what we'll do is we'll do all the colours, and then we'll do a mapping check to make sure that everything's reading correctly. So when the effects happen in the show, it's meant to look like what it's meant to look like. So now that's kind of like the end of that rig check, which you can see. There's a lot more to it. We have a lot more battery practicals and everything like that. However, that's really difficult to show you without me being on the deck with the camera. But it's the same setup. So I'm sat at the desk, firing the cues. Craig is on stage, unplugging in, plugging in batteries. And then we'll do an atmospherics test as well. So all the smoke, all the haze, all the low fog. And again, make sure they're working. If they need refilling, we'll fill them up and everything like that. So I hope this gives you a little tiny bit of an insight. It's kind of like an easing myself back welcome to Sister Act for you lot. And yeah, like I said, there's a few exciting stuff coming up. We've got EPKs coming, we've got MLA sessions coming up, and I genuinely want to do a paperwork, as boring as that sounds. I do want to do a paperwork session, just so you know what actually goes into it paperwork wise. So I suppose that's it. Welcome to Sister Act, welcome to Hammersmith. That was our rig check. This is what we do. And yeah, if you enjoyed it, then as always, please share around. It's actually been really exciting because a few people have come up to me and gone, oh my god, like I saw the prep videos for this. So word is getting around in one way or another, which is really weird and really cool for me. But it's exciting at the same time. And I've had a few people say it's really insightful. A few people say it's really boring, but you know, you can't please all. These videos aren't for people who, you know, are not necessarily interested. I'm trying to do like a very vast thing of like opening people's eye up to what we do, but also for the younger generation coming through theatre to say this is how we do it now. You know, this is new technologies. This is how a team runs. This is what is involved. The stuff that you don't get at your colleges or you don't get at universities, as much as they try and show you, and some of them do a really good job of that. So yeah, share it around for people who are getting into lighting and all that kind of stuff. And I'll see you next time, which actually is tomorrow. I'm going to force myself to pick up the camera because the MLA session starts tomorrow. So as always, thank you very much for watching. I do hope you enjoyed. I'm sorry it's been a bit bitty. I'm sorry I went off the radar for a few weeks. However, I'm back, fingers crossed, and it's all very exciting. I will see you tomorrow.